Hey look, more fighting game news. But I can't help but feel like I'm forgetting to do something. What's up guys, it's me Zero to my Kitsune, and today we are talking about Arcana Heart and its newest expansion currently on Kickstarter, Arcana Heart 3 Love Max 6 stars. Now, just going over what this Kickstarter is actually going for, it's not a huge overhaul or anything. It is simply an updated edition that was already in the Japanese arcades, but is now trying to be ported over to PC for the North American audience. And what we're getting from this is a new character named Minori, who is more of a brawler type character with rapid fire punches, 2 metal gauntlets, and a really cool looking command grab. And just a funny little note, she is wearing something rather skimpy, but if you compare her artwork to her actual sprite work, they take some real liberties with that bust size. It goes from A to C depending on the animations, and I just thought that was hilarious. The Arcana she comes with is named Ichor, the Arcana of Blood, and it took me a little bit of research to actually figure out what this Arcana does, but generally speaking, the Arcana will allow you to regenerate life, allows you to do things like throw blood bombs and blood projectiles, and also buff yourself up with certain supers to increase your attack speed, potentially allowing for new combos. And as far as stretch goals go, the game is hinting at 3 other potential characters to be added depending on how far up the stretch goal chart the game actually reaches. So that's exciting. Hopefully we get all 3 of them. The first one looked kind of like a shark girl because you can only see the silhouette, so I don't actually know what kind of characters they would be. Personally speaking, I'd like the boss characters from previous Arcana Heart games to become playable as standard competitive characters. Now as far as backer rewards, I think the best one is the $25 reward, which is simply you get a copy of the game. Nothing illustrious, nothing fancy. Hilariously enough, the rewards go all the way up to $5,000. And at the 5,000 mark, you get to commission a single piece of artwork from the artist, but sadly, if you were looking forward to that, it is already sold out. Now, as far as how long this is going to take, from what I'm seeing, it looks like the game is planned for a December release in 2017, so this year. But for any of the new characters and the stretch goals and such, they will be released in 2018. So that's all the information that Kickstarter kind of provides. Now, I was looking around and actually saw some criticisms of this Kickstarter, and I just wanted to go over them and say my opinions on them. Firstly, why does an expansion need to be kickstarted? Well, as far as I know, there doesn't seem to be a lot of money within Arcana Heart 3 as far as, continuing development on expansions and such. It looks like the people behind Arcana Heart 3 aren't willing to put any money towards this, but they are willing to do it if they can get the money from other means, so that's why. The next argument is how this is barely an upgrade and the assets were from 10 years ago, which is a sort of valid complaint. Arcana Heart's graphics are aging and might be a barrier towards people who are looking at it as a fresh game, but this is an update simply to have parity with the versions in Japan, so I'm not expecting them to do a whole graphical overhaul in any sort of Kickstarter update. But this kind of argument also links to the last criticism, which is how they should just stop with the expansion, stop with the updates, and go ahead and move on to Arcana Heart 4, which I'm happy to say it seems like they're doing both. Months ago there were already talks about Arcana Heart 4 being in development, with the developer, if I remember correctly, having a little back and forth on Twitter asking about certain changes that should or should not be made to the game. So they are working on Arcana Heart 4. This is again just, the last hurrah for Arcana Heart 3, and maybe the funds that go towards this update may even help towards the development of Arcana Heart 4. Now, as far as my experiences with Arcana Heart, back when I got Arcana Heart 3 for PlayStation 3, the experience was great. Even though I got it a little bit late, so it wasn't as populated as a fresh fighting game was, I could always get a room, and after playing a few rounds with 1 or 2 people, it would fill up more and more. The connection was rather decent, and that's kind of important for how mobile Arcana Heart is. Now, as far as my PC experience, that is a whole nother story. My experience with the Steam release of Arcana Heart Love Max was actually rather poor, with the online being constantly laggy despite playing with a friend who is only 1 or 2 states away, which other fighting games had no problem giving me a smooth connection with. Sadly, because of that, and the Steam refund system having been recently implemented during that time, I had refunded Arcana Heart 3 Love Max. But I am hopeful that this expansion won't fall into that same problem. Now, do I think people should crowdfund this? It all depends on whether or not you enjoy Arcana Heart as a whole. I don't think it should be funded just because, hey look, another fighting game is on Kickstarter. Because Arcana Heart is so different, you might not get a return if you don't like the Arcana Heart's playstyle, and nothing is worse than paying for a video game that you won't play. But if you like Arcana Heart, if you like the art style, if you like the gameplay, I'd say fund it, and maybe, just maybe, the money can be used towards getting Arcana Heart 4 developed and published even faster. Because that's what I'm looking forward to. I really hope Arcana Heart 4 has a more modernized sprite system, with the characters not looking nearly as pixelated as they do, something akin to Blaze Blue, or if I'm being greedy, hopefully they'll give us something closer to Guilty Gear Xrd in 3D. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna give them benefit of doubt. Like I said, I had previous issues with the PC port of Love Max, but I will remain hopeful and go ahead and drop $25 for a Steam key. A link to the crowdfunding campaign will be in the description, and as of this video, it's already been crowdfunded. It's all in the clear as far as that's concerned, but now the rest of the crowdfunding campaign is just looking for its stretch goals, and there's plenty of time, so I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 1 or 2 of them, just speculating. So with that said, check out the Kickstarter. I'll make sure to link some Arcana Heart 3 6 stars gameplay as well, so you can see what you're getting into. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.